Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're going to have the finale, of the flip through of the butterfly journal. I know you're saying, "Oh my gosh, it took you forever to get that thing done." I got distracted, squirrel, with a few ephemera things. I needed to build my stash and all that, and I'm still doing that. All right, let's get into our sneaky peek of the day. Oh, which is, I think we saw this already. That pretty butterfly. And, oh, we have something kind of interesting here. This is, what is this? Oh, it's a fold out. And it keeps folding. I did one like this in my journal over there, one of my first journals. And this may have been the very beginning or the first one I did. Of course, scrapbooking with me. I saw it there. I glued it down as a belly band, as you can see. And I have one of my put together collaged cards on here. Happiness of coming home. Oh, Mom wrote on it. Okay, and then she said, we went to Roger and Diane's for a nice dinner. I'm Diane, by the way. I have 3 different names the family calls me. All right. I was Boo to all my cousins and stuff, and Mom and Dad. That's my nickname. Then I have my first name is Rhoda. My second name is Diane. I was called Diane all through school, all through even up to graduation. And then I start work at Walmart in that 1991. My department manager was Diane. So they wouldn't let 2 Dianes be in the same department. I had to start using Rhoda. Well, of course, I didn't even turn around the first couple of times that somebody, hey, hollers for Rhoda. I didn't. Okay, anyhow, enough of that. So this is sort of like part of her garden theme. There's some birdhouses, some butterflies. I have a little bit of this die cut with a trellisy look to it. Little bird, looks like he's nesting there. I love this background because it had dragonflies and bees and butterflies and all these different words. So over here, I think you can lift this out if it works correctly. Oh yeah, has a little butterfly at the top and a couple on the page, and it's not really writable, but oh well. Let's get it back in there. Okay, Mom. This has got blossom on it here. This one has a fishtail on the top of it, and it's another card. Has flourish on the back with a couple stars. I love this material or paper, too. I always thought it was so pretty. I guess I don't have anything in that one. Oh, no, I pulled that one out, didn't I? Cardinals, I got this off of a bag of bird seed. So don't ever think you can't get you can't get things from different pieces and parts. And I think all of these came off of there too. Then I have In Bloom on the back with a pretty dragonfly and a pool. And then we have this one, which has big ladybugs, some snails, and some bugs. Bunch of ladybugs. And this is another pretty background as well. And it has Grow over here and her watering pots. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to show you today because I want to get into the big guy. Oh, I will tell you about this. This is another little goodie from Scrapbooking with Me. It was a 2-sided, like, it's not really a paper clip. It's like a bookmark, I believe she called them. So I had these pretty butterflies. I took the same one, and I had some bling, and I put a little cheesecloth under it, and I had a clock face that I put on both sides. So it's only glued at the very, very top up here, right there, and that's it. So it will slide over your page, and I thought it went really well with the colors on that page. All right, let's get to the main attraction. And I got some goodies to show you at the very end that I've been working on since the last video. As you know, the last video was that 5-hole pocket. Well, I made a whole bunch more. Couldn't stop myself for a while. All right, this is my beautiful vintage butterfly journal. And the digital inside is from Wonders by Wink on Etsy. It's a very gorgeous kit. It speaks for itself. If I really let the pages say what I needed to, instead of me really decorating them up to the hilt. Now, these buttons come from my mom's jars. She had 3 or 4 jars out there. I went through and I picked out all those real old ones. So this is vintage. I got those pearlized ones. There are a few plastic ones in here and some glass ones. Like there's a little glass one. And if, they're kind of mixed in here, but you can see the ones that are the real old ones. And what I did is I covered the cover itself with lame, I think they call this. And it's like a rust or a copper colored lame. And I wanted it to fringe around the outside edge, but I think the glue went out too far. And anyway, once the fringe come off, it's blue underneath. So after I did that, I closed it. I only put like on the panel part here. I didn't do it on the spine. And then on that part, I did this doily. So I glued it here first, and then I shut the book. Then I glued the doily down so it would not hinder the opening, Boy, that's a heavy cover. But I got this die-cut butterfly. I think they call him Perspective Butterfly from Tim Holtz. It's that big one you've seen me use a lot. And then Mom gave me this cute little comb. I threaded it down through his tail and parts of his wing there. You can just see the little teeth of the comb. But it's got little diamante or whatever they call that on there. I slipped a few buttons under the wing here so he was kind of even going across. And I glued everything down with fabric tack. I did use a gel medium for the lame behind it and for this part, but everything else is fabric tack. But, I even have some little jewels. There was like a little button type of a jewel here, and there's a little tiny one hidden in there. So it's like, and I got one gold one. I thought that was fun, just one gold one. And I have this weird one here. It looks like it was flat on the back. It wasn't a button, so I don't really know what the devil that thing was. But I thought it would work good here where you'd pick it up and open it. All right, let's get into it. Enough of that. So here are all the pages of the kit were made, printed, and put in here. Plus other little goodies, like that was something from Tommy. And every page should have a butterfly. Each page spread, I should say, because some only has it on one side or the other. But here is a little piece of the ephemera that they could write their name on. Here's another one like this book belongs to. However they'd like to play that. And I inked the whole inside with vintage photo oxide. So I got a nice warm tone. Can you read upside down? There we go. So I did that all first when I was going through and making my pockets. And then here are a few little collages that I've made. Here's an up tuck with part of the ephemera. Flowers in Colorado. That fits for her because that's where she is. My design team, Mama. Okay, I put hello, my darling here. I put a few inspirational messages through here just so it was like upbeat and fun. There was like the flower from the first. That's part of her ephemera. And I just left them white on the back. This is the one I went and took and put that big shattered stamp all over. And then I did this so it would reflect this. This was a sticker that I had. I'm trying to use up that pad next. And we have a bird here and some lace and a sticker. I just kind of, and then I have ribbon. No journey is too great if you find what you seek. I thought they were journeying into the nest or something. Here's this card. It goes in sideways. It has a big butterfly on it. And this is the book page that was out of her other kit. And I thought it would go really well in here. This is a belly band, which has, I love these postcard things. I could stamp on the back a postcard stamp that I have, but I didn't think I wanted to worry with all that. Here was another one of these. I guess these were part of a, like you could put them together to be like a little book if you wanted to. I did some stamping here. This is piano roll here. If you can see it, it's got like a little shadow design there to it. But yeah, I got that at the collaboration in July. Now this piece I thought didn't stand out enough, so I put it on one of these bases that Tommy had made, and it steps her up a little bit higher and you can see her better. And we have this. Now I felt like this was so plain over here. I put this strip of just trim off, I guess it was, and then I used my washi tape that had the music on it. But you can see little faded butterflies. This is one of her background sheets, I guess. And then this was the critics. Had a flower on it. I thought that was pretty, so I tucked that in there. This has some die cuts in one of her, or two of her pieces of ephemera. She had a piece of cutouts. Now this also has a tuck over here, another sticker. This is the side. Oh, I didn't show you this back here. Excuse me. I have a big pocket at the top. This is the only top loading pocket. So it's right here. This is one of those big journal cards we made the other day. I really like how it turned out. I was trying to do what do you call that? Hang on a second. A resist technique. I cannot remember that word. I have to look at the bottle every time. But I was trying a resist technique here with the Harlequin stencil and stamp. So, I don't know. And then I did cover them with the back of like a paper pad. It was just the white backing of a paper pad. So I stuck it on the back so you can write on it. Now, this is the side loading version. And this was just a piece of paper that I come up with where I had glue. I did used it as a glue page, excuse me. I had stuck down some pieces of just book page on here. Then I used it as a glue page, and then I let it dry for a while, and then it comes out when you do your ink over it. You get these ridges and stuff. This is darker than it actually is on the original. But I thought it was such a cool technique, I just had to use it. And it's plain on the back. It's just white. So you could use it at any time. Now this one has nothing in it, but it's two pockets. This is like a down facing pocket, and this is an up facing pocket. But what you could do is put a large piece of something in here and it'll hold. Now this is a little piece of vellum with wording on it that I have a pad, and I'm trying to use that up. You know me, I'm trying to use it all up. I thought the black lettering went with the black bird, which if you watched that video, I wasn't all that happy with. He's a little too dark. I do have elements of black in here. Now here's a little piece of lace. It wasn't meant to be a pocket. I just didn't glue it all the way down. But I have plenty of room for writing in here. Now I love this bird and this clock. And we have this pretty lady on the back. Now here's one of the other big journal cards that I made that day. We had a fun day that day. So if you want to see some mixed media, you can come check that out. That was just about 4 or 5 videos ago. Now this lady, she's out here in her garden picking her flowers. And look at her little scissor hanging off of her. And I think she's got a key. How neat. I said, always be on the lookout for the presence of wonder. I figured she was looking out. Here is another one of the pieces of ephemera. Although I couldn't really tell how that had to do. It is vintage. It says something. Railway station. Okay. We'll tuck that back in there. Here's another sticker. Part of the ephemera. This was a rub one I had from Dollar Tree. Now here's the big butterfly that I was talking about that I put on the front. I did cut his little tail pieces off on the front one because the piece of paper I used didn't fit. So I cut it off. I've got forever over here and these rubble and numbers here. I didn't put anything in here either, but these are 4 little pockets, triangular pockets. This is a pretty page with flowers and such. And we have, this is a piece from Tommy, and it was black, but it had a group of flowers down here with a butterfly on it. And I thought, oh yeah, well, I'll go ahead and put that in here. It does, it's a little standoutish, but I think it works because there are black elements around. And here is the, what would you call this? A quadruple pocket, I guess. This has to do with bees, so it's got bee washi, bee stenciling, another bit of washi over here. I've got a stamp that didn't quite come out all the way. And there was an actual bee on this graph paper. We have more of her ephemera that's stuck in here. Here's another one of those little book guys. And I have this little guy. I think the other are all sleeping and must... Well, I don't know. I don't know what that... Maybe that's vintage too. Okay. It has the perfect day here. I cut that out of one of my little typing books up here. It's like a 5x5. Here I did some stamping with the Distress Glaze. You can see how shiny it is. And it's quite see-through. Actually, I can see through to the lettering on the next page, to tell you the truth. I did a stamp of a butterfly. Since there was none here, I did this stamp. And I like that it's faded. It's not bold. And this was a piece of ephemera, and I just put it down instead of using it as a journal card. And this is a hodgepodge page, if you can't tell it. I was just using cut-offs and things so I could use them up. I put this little bird here so it looked like he was going to his nest. It didn't look like a nest for a hummingbird, so that's why I put this other bird here. Now this is one that's used, it's got a Velcro button. So you can get in here and write all your secrets, and then you can close it and nobody will know. You might even be able to use it as a belly band of sorts, but you've got a big pocket over here on this side, which is another one of those journal cards. I did some of the grit paste through a stencil on here. This was napkin that I've used, and then I did some background work on it. And then there's some stamping back here with script stamp and one of my Tim Holtz stamps I really like. A little collage here. And then here's stamping from Papillon. It's a stamp set that I've got that's something to do with Paris. But those two came from that. And then I put journal in this. She had like 6 of these, I believe. So I put them all throughout. And there's a little faint butterfly here. And then there's this big one here. And I got a piece of ribbon going across that way to add a little bling. And then we have a beautiful tulip. And here's another of those side-loading pockets. It's another of that same paper. I just cut it in half and cut it down. Now, those big journal cards I made will not fit in these pockets. That's what they were intended to be in. But they wouldn't work. I got them to work in other places. And one of them just won't work anywhere. So I won't be sending that out. All right, here's another of the big butterflies. And I put Let Your Spirits Soar down here. I did a little stamp here. And that's all I did so you could write. Here's the sticker that came out of that old Tim Holtz book that I have. And I even used the butterflies and moths that was on it. And isn't this pretty? It's really old looking too. And since this is a book, as you can see the pages over here that she's got on the digital. And actually I did that one backward, naughty me. But most of them I have the page on the outside edge when I was paying attention to what I was supposed to be doing. Here we go again. So this right here was supposed to be another one of those floating pockets like that. But I had, oh no, it wasn't. It was supposed to have a flap that came down on both sides that you could flip up and write under. but they were just too bulky with what I had on them. And so I think one of them was actually back here, the one with the piano paper. Forget why I had that, but here, that's one of the cutoffs right there. So that's what I ended up doing with it. And I put the other one here. So see, I created a whole new pocket system just because of my bulkiness back here. So anyhow, that's something to remember. Always make it work. And always stay positive. Here's a cute collage that I made with this little tiny bird and some pieces from that little typing kit. And then the way this is one piece of paper right here. So this is the cut off here, and then I cut the other piece off and put it up here. So it looked like it was an extension of itself. You can write all over this. Now here was a little tiny tuck that I made by only gluing the bottom side. And somebody just sent me this. I can't remember who. Maybe Tommy. I've got some Happy Mail that's come in. I got to do a video on that. But I usually decimate what she sends me. Here's another collage with some lace and more writing room. Here's another one of those. Now, since this lady was over here counting the petals on her flower, whatever she's doing, I have the pastry and pie filling ephemera piece right there. I don't know why, but I put replace fear of the unknown with curiosity. So I figured she was curious about something. Now this one here, I haven't filled up at all. You could do it to your heart's content. I mean, save it for when you have something to put in it. So when you give a journal out, you don't want to really just pack it full. You want to leave places for them to fill up themselves. Or you can give them like an extra envelope of things that they could use in here wherever they chose. So I've got a collage here. I did a stamp there. And one of the cut aparts is up here. And there's 4 pockets. Here we go with more of that pretty flower. Now I had a stamp that looked really close to this guy, so I used it here. And I put stronger than yesterday on there. And here's another one of the diamonds. And I wanted to put this beautiful yellow rose in there. And it's another one that's got like 4 triangle pockets in it. And another one of those little bookmarky or label-y things. I'm not sure what that is. This is some of my own dyed paper. And then here we have some washi on the outside. Here I needed a little bling, I felt. Plus, this lace reflects the usage of that lace. And I thought that would work. Put memories up here. I got a little bit of stenciling here. I like it because it's faded. It's very mellow. Is that a good word? And here I put, darling, you are a work of art. And that's what that looks like to me. Some kind of work of art. We always had to paint still lifes in school. Oh, how boring. So here is a piece of ephemera that I have in this postcard. And then over here, Tommy had sent me a bunch of like a little postcardy thing. So I said, sending butterfly wishes. And it's got a little postmark and stamp and all kinds of goodies there. And I thought these little birds were sending in the wishes. And then here's the postcard also that ties all that in together. I thought that was really cute. All right, and then we have this last piece. It says, see possibility everywhere, because this bird is looking around. And there is a pocket. Now, Tommy just sent me this. Thank you, Tommy. Paper Crafting with Miss Tommy. Go visit her. And I thought it was so cool. It's a I can't remember what you call that. But anyway, there is a big pocket way back here that you can use. And then I think Judy Hoff sent me these other, and it had a card in it, just like this one, but it was blank. And then this was a Stamperia piece that I put in here because I had a butterfly on it. And the colors really looked like they went with my kit. So, you always have to have a sign out library card for any book you take out of the library, right? All right, so let's set this little beauty to the side. And we're going to go through this whole pile of things that I just made the other day. I've been going to town, I'll tell you. Okay, let's see what we got here. So, a lot of these are pages just out of some scrapbooks that I had. I've been trying to use them up. I've killed 2 or 3 Stamperia pads. Yay, yay, yay. They've been sitting around here for a couple years. I had a time when I just bought a bunch of Stamperia and haven't used them. So anyhow, we have this. This is actually glued down. So I have the little scene. I have one little bookmarky tag back in here. And this is with the 5-pocket guy. So you have one at the very back, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's right. But I like the colors. I had to actually, this was a white background paper. So I had to get in here and I had to put these little panels of other papers. So, you know, that's the way you could do it if you have a single background. Now this one here, I used, this is the one I did in the video. So this is my cluster that I pulled out of my book up there. And then I've got all these wording things that go in there. And it's pretty round, goes there. And I got a couple of bookmarks in there, or tags. I keep calling them bookmarks. Don't know why. Now this one I made in case I wanted to put in my bee journal. So I've got some of that little bee honeycomb, thin washi along the edges of all these. And I've got a little bit of the netting under here. I have only small things with great love. We have be positive because it's bee. And I cut out 2 hexagons and put there too. So I don't think I have much. This actually came out of the kit. And it has a bee comb design on it. And so did this. I made sure that that showed when I put this together. So that can go in my bee journal if the colors match. I hope they do. I had this other kit that was laces and roses into Stamperia. And that's what you'll see here with all these dark browns because it was a wooden look. You had numbers and keys and these pieces on one. So I was using it to my heart's content and trying to use it all up. Another one of those rounds has with you on it. I'm all off to the side, I swear. Then we have that one that has like, it's like a fall one because it's got acorns and leaves and such on it. I put some washi back here and a number 3. Now here's another one. It's got that same Stamperia kit. I think I killed Dream, Laces and Roses, and Flower Alphabet. And I'm working on another one I got over there now. But here is that one that I just showed you. I had to cut off to 2.5 inches. These were 9.5 by 12. So they're about 5 inches wide. And so I had that little piece that I cut off that I made a couple tags from. So I was using everything I had. This was another one that had a white background, so I put like a blue behind there with a piece of wood over it. You've got your key. It says special day. You've got this home is not a place, it's a feeling. So they're really, I mean, they're fun. They're just fun to do. Now here's more of that laces and roses because it was like a lot of dark wood. See how dark that is? That's the back page, I believe. I put this clock in here. I had that. It says, now I put this on here because that was from another kit, but look how well it blended in together. I have Believe You Can. Here's a piece with a bird cage on it and some wording. And then we have a couple of tags back in here. This is a big tag right here. That was the last of that one. Look, you can even see Stamperia almost there. So see, you know, nobody's going to know. Because these are mostly going to be glued down to a page. Unless you want to just give them as a card. You can use these for like a gift card holder, a birthday card. You got, you know, sky's the limit. A thinking of you card. Here's Follow Your Dreams. And then we have a tag back here with a pretty rose on it. And so you can see the lace. I did a washi here that was that gold lacy washi. Dream big. And I have a little bit of that netting up behind here. And for you. All right, this one's we'll do that one last. This one has greetings. That way it was very pretty. It had the bird cages and stuff on it, but I couldn't get one to work. So this might be one you wouldn't want to glue down. You would want to just put it in a pocket maybe. It is little over 5 inches, but it may slide in like a little triangular pocket, you know, and stick out to the edge of your page. You can do it that way as well. Let's see. So I've got thank you there. So I'll put just like a plain flower round there. And that. And then here is the other one that has like part of a bird cage. I did a little washy edge on this one, but it's really hard to see it. It's like a little rose and some green vine or something. Now this one, I only had like a slender piece left. I think it was only like 7 inches or something. And so all of this stuff I put in it. Now look at that. Now what I see is a kimono. Are you watching this, Kyung? Anyway, I'm thinking of this as a kimono. And so if you have like a Japanese or an Oriental book or something, try doing a 12 by 7 in this and making a real wide V-neck and a thin color looking thing, maybe in a white or something. And I just thought it was so cool that it turned out that way. I've got another washi trim here that's just a green vine. And we'll put all of our tags back in here like that. And see, that was out of that same material. All right, so the other stuff I made, I know I was going to town. I was trying to use up all these things and it kept staying around the outside edge of my work table. Here are journal cards. Okay, here's one. I've used up all of the little pieces and parts where I cut out all these tags here, all these circles. I had little buttons that I had able to punch out. I had my little cutter over here and I was making all these right angles and inking the edges, and I was putting all this stuff on these little bases that Tommy had sent me. So here's another one. I put dreams on there with a number. Here's that one. I had pieces of the clock from the front page on here, and I just had to use those. So I cut them up and put them on there, and they worked. Here we go with this one. That's part of the front as well, where it was trying to show you things. Like that was where the front said laces and roses, I believe. Now here I was using up, oh, it's upside down. I was using up the last of those little faux wax seals. And I really love the colors on that one. I'm trying to remember which one that one was. Is that Dream? I got them all upside down. Okay, this one has With Love for You. And I'm going to send them out in Happy Mail. Believe you can. I think I have maybe some... I got like... Do I have a shabby chic? I may put a couple in a shabby chic journal I'm going to do sometime in the near future. All right, these little guys are different. They're like a little bookmarky kind of thing. They're like a tall tag. I've got one of the small tags, and then I have this little extra piece. But the way I put them down, or in here, was they were going to be too wide to have a pocket against that. So I went all the way around the outside edge and make a little, I don't know, a sleeve, I guess you'd call it. So that's how I did them. And I thought, well, you know, that's cute. That'll work. You know, you can take them out. You can read what's on the background. Or you can put your little guys back in there. And I just cut like an extra piece here. That's that extra one to do more color in your background, or however you might like it. That one didn't have much on the background. But I tried to piece them all together to where they would work. And that one just has With Love. See how pretty it is without that on there? So you could take these extra little pieces and put them somewhere else in your book. Now these were leftovers from the front of another paper pad that I had. And so I just dressed them up as is. I mean, I made tags out of them. They're not the prettiest in the world because I was using up stuff that I had. There's one with orange and blue. And I thought that matched those crazy trees that looks like Vincent van Gogh trees. And that one didn't turn out too bad. You just have to find the right journal to put them in. Okay, I think that's it. That's all of the sneaky peeks and the my stash builders that I was doing. And I really appreciate you coming. Thank you so much, all my subscribers and viewers. And I really appreciate it if you gave me a thumbs up and think about subscribing. I always have new content and different content. And I'm always upbeat. Thank you, everybody. Have a great, great day. Bye-bye.